Hello everyone, let's learn about present perfect simple and present perfect continuous. By studying about present perfect simple and present perfect continuous, you are expected to be able to identify and differentiate between present perfect simple and present perfect continuous. And then, you are also expected to be able to analyze and understand the sentence structure as well as the functions of each tense. And finally, you are expected to be able to use both of the present perfect simple and present perfect continuous for communication in spoken and written form. Now, let's see the sample sentence. For the present perfect simple, here we have she has read a book, while for the present perfect continuous, we have he has been reading a book. Both the girl and the boy started reading the book at an unspecific or indefinite time in the past, since we don't know whether it's yesterday, a week ago, or couples hours ago. However, we can see the difference here that the girl has completed reading the book and now she put it on her lap, while the boy now is still reading a book and he hasn't finished reading it yet. Here are the next sample sentence. For the present perfect simple, we have I have watched this movie twice. While for the present perfect continuous, we have they have been watching movie for an hour. When I say I have watched this movie twice, means I want to tell about repeated action at some indefinite time in the past. While the sentence they have been watching movie for an hour means they started watching movie at an unspecific time in the past and it is still continuing up to now. They haven't finished watching movie now, but we know the duration or how long they have been watching movie since there is preposition for in that sentence. They have been watching movie for an hour, or in other words, it has been an hour since they started watching movie. In conclusion, present perfect simple I have watched this movie twice focuses on the repeated action in the past, while the present perfect continuous they have been watching movie for an hour focuses on an action which started in the past and it is still going on up to now. And also it emphasizes more on the duration, that is for an hour so far. Another sample sentence. As you can see here, we have two illustrations for this kind of context where we use present perfect simple and present perfect continuous. The present perfect simple sentence is, I've painted my bedroom. And the present perfect continuous sentence is, I've been painting my bedroom. As you can see in the pictures that both of those persons have finished painting their bedroom. However, there are still some differences between those two pictures. In the first picture, I've painted my bedroom. The girl has finished painting her bedroom. She has tidied up her painting equipment and she has cleaned herself too. The focus is on the result of her action painting her bedroom. She has finished painting her bedroom. While in the second picture, I've been painting my bedroom. Here we can see that the girl has finished painting her bedroom too. However, she hasn't tidied up her painting equipment and she hasn't cleaned herself too. The focus is on the action that is painting her bedroom, not on the result finishing painting her bedroom. And also, here there are still evidences which tell that she has just finished it recently. We can see that the painting equipment hasn't been tidied up and she still looks dirty because of the paint. Thus, we use present perfect continuous for this context. The next example is from this context. These contexts are a bit spatial because we can use either present perfect simple or present perfect continuous. In other words, whether we use present perfect simple or present perfect continuous, they are the same. The first context is when we talk about our present situation or state related to where we live. We can say either I have lived in this house since 2010 or I've been living in this house for 10 years. Both of those statements have the same meaning. They are used to tell about actions or states started in the past and is still going on up to now. The difference is on the focus that I have lived in this house since 2010 focuses more on the time when it started, while I've been living in this house for 10 years focuses more on the duration or how long I've been spending time living in that house. We can notice that the present perfect simple with preposition since is always followed by point in time to show when something started, while present perfect continuous with preposition for is always followed by length of time to show how long a present state has lasted. The next spatial context, which we can use either present perfect simple or present perfect continuous, is when we talk about present situation related to job or profession. We can say either she has worked in that supermarket since 2018 or she has been working in that supermarket for 2 years. Those sentences convey the same meaning, that it is a state started in the past and is still going on up to now. This special case of using present perfect simple or present perfect continuous is also applicable when we talk about state or situation with any different verbs such as wear or play. For example, Ryan is a tennis player. I can say he has been playing tennis for 10 years, or he has played tennis since he was kid. Another example, Anita is short-sighted. I can say she has been wearing glasses for 5 years, or she has worn glasses since 2015. So uh, either present perfect simple and present perfect continuous for both contexts are correct. Now we have list of sentences in present perfect simple and present perfect continuous. From the list, we can compare the difference between them. Then we can analyze the sentence structure for each of the tense. First, we can see that for the sentences in present perfect simple, they use auxiliary have or has. Whereas sentences in present perfect continuous, they use auxiliary have been or has been. And then for the verb form used in each tense is also different. For present perfect simple, they use past participle form of the verb, while for present perfect continuous, they use the ing form of the verb. To sum it up, here is the sentence structure for present perfect simple and present perfect continuous. Let's start from the affirmative form. For present perfect simple, it starts with subject followed by auxiliary have or has. It depends on the subject that you have, whether it is singular or plural subject. And then it is followed by the past participle form of the verb or verb 3. While for present perfect continuous, it starts with the subject, followed by auxiliary have or has, again depends on the subject, and then auxiliary been, and of course the ing form of the verb. For the negative form, we only need to put the negation or the word not after the auxiliary. So for both present perfect simple and present perfect continuous, we only need to put not after auxiliary have or has. And then how about making interrogative or yes or no questions? To make interrogative form, it's very simple. This is the key. We only need to put the auxiliary before the subject. So move the auxiliary at the beginning of the sentence. Then it becomes for present perfect simple. It starts with have or has, and then the subject, and of course the past participle form of the verb, and then don't forget to end it with a question mark. For present perfect continuous, it starts with have or has, and then the subject, plus been, and then followed by the ing form of the verb, and of course question mark at the end. Then how about making questions by using WH questions? It's very simple. We only need to put the WH questions at the beginning of the interrogative question structure, as simple as this. So we have done with the sentence structure. How about the function for each of the tense? After this, your task is to analyze the sample sentence in order to understand the function of each tense. I'll give you the clue which may help you. Present perfect simple and present perfect continuous have a similarity. As you can see in the diagram that both of present perfect simple and present perfect continuous started at an unspecific time or indefinite time in the past. And the difference is about what happened to its action in the present time. This will be the first function of present perfect simple and present perfect continuous that you need to find. So here is the table which you have to complete. It is about the functions of present perfect simple and present perfect continuous. For function number 1, you can use the clue that I've just told you. And for the next functions, you can consider the sample sentences that have been mentioned and also their explanation. Next, after you have found the function of present perfect simple and present perfect continuous, let's challenge your understanding by completing the sentences with the correct form of the verb in the brackets. Please submit your answer for sentence functions and grammar exercise in Moodle. I remind you not to forget to do the task before the lesson, and then we are going to have discussion about it in class. See you in class. Thank you.